Hello, welcome all to another installment of the ridiculous ramblings of a drunken Buddha. Buddha Juan here. For the next several, God only knows how long, rambling minutes I will take to navigate some ordinary experience and hopefully find some sort of silver lining, some little nugget of truth to remind us how great this experience, this life, this go around truly is. So, welcome and thanks for being here. Grab a cocktail if you haven't already while I get started. Right before I started recording, my chair broke, so that's lovely. So you may get a nice laugh at me falling out of it, but I got this slow lean to the down right now. I don't know if that's good or bad. It's really got me all discombobulated. In any case, went to the car wash today. Probably an ordinary experience for pretty much all of you, especially those of you with nice cars. Unlike me, I have a vehicle that has rarely seen the inside of a car wash for quite some time. Don't even get me started about the interior. She's a good car though. She's, well, truck, I guess it is. Big, old, burly SUV. Very functional, utilitarian type of vehicle. Needs a lot of love though. It's done me well. I can't complain too much. In any case, took it to the car wash today and sat in this big, long, stupid line of gorgeous vehicles, all trying to get all polished up for no apparent occasion. And it never fails that I find myself behind, on the rare occasion I do get to a car wash, I find myself behind a vehicle with a driver who is perhaps unfamiliar with how car washes work. And despite the 15,000 signs that say remove your foot from the brake and put the car in neutral, somehow finds a way to remain with the foot planted on the brake while the little automated roller wheels come through to move the car along, and jumps the track and causes a bottleneck and jam for all of us to sit in and watch and ponder. Yeah, I've never been that person. I know I have several friends, family members that have been. They say it's a terrifying experience. And I guess I can only imagine. I'm not all that great with empathy. I'm still working on that. I did refrain I was in no hurry to go anywhere, so I did refrain from getting all upset or yelling or screaming. I know back in the day, my father would have said all sorts of explicatives and less than kind words to said driver. In any case, they figured it out and got that driver squared away and moving along. But that's not the whole point. All right. Anyways, the point is that as I'm entering the car wash, since it is sort of rare, it does take me back when I was a kid. I was fascinated by going to the car wash and seeing all the suds and then the lights behind the suds kind of going through, and it was always a spectacle. And this is back in the day where you didn't really have to wear a car seat or a seat belt, and you could just kind of bounce around the whole car, and I would, like a dog, would jump from window to window and just watching and sort of fascinated by the whole thing. Simple pleasures back in my day. But today was a little different as I was making my way through, it's, the end of the day, and as I was in the line, I guess the car wash is aimed to the west. As I'm in the line trying to get into the actual car wash itself, the sun's shining down and we're in the shade, but you could see like the sun kind of going around the building, and you logically know that you will, on the backside of this, like emerge into the sunlight. But as I'm starting to progress through the car wash and it's dumping all the suds on and it's making all this noise and it's dark and gloomy and messy and goobers of soap, I'm assuming soap and God knows what other chemicals that are probably polluting the earth, but just dumping on your car. And it's kind of dark and scary and gloomy, and it kind of walked me back to a place of, this is kind of how life can get, where we enter on a normal day, everything's kind of fine, normal, whatever, and all of a sudden we find ourselves in this tunnel of darkness and soap goobers dropping down on us, and we're getting smacked around by these heavy brushes and bristles and cloths that are just beating us up from every which way, a dozen different angles. And then as we slowly continue to progress through, we're always, throughout the whole process, we're still moving forward. No matter what, we are still continuing to move forward. And then you get to the big rinse off moment where all the like wall of water that is just showering down, and your car sort of emerges through it, and all of a sudden all the soap, all the suds that were blocking your view, blocking your vision, just sort of slip away and wash away off the vehicle. And in this particular case, the moment it did, the sun was blaring and just shining right in, and it was such a metaphor for the light at the end of the tunnel, and that sometimes we have to go through these dark days and things that don't make a whole lot of sense, and they're sometimes unsettling, or as long as we're keeping moving forward, that brighter days are ahead. And I was fortunate enough to get some video, and I'm sharing it with you through this as well. And maybe you've already seen it, depends on how good my editing is, but it was sort of a like, as I said, a metaphorical experience to it, and it left me with a smile at the end of it. And so eager that I hit the brake and almost jumped the track myself. So there you go. That's, I guess, how we come back full circle. So yeah, with that, take it for what it's worth. Go forth, my friends, with kindness and cocktails. I hope you enjoyed your time here. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you again soon. Thanks.